If you use this or this in your miniature painting, then this video is for you, because there is a new weathering product that is going to make both of these obsolete. Oh, fun! It's leaking! Yay! Oh, perfect. As miniature painters, we are always looking for the best way to make it look like we spent more time on a model than we actually did. The easiest and fastest way to add depth, instant shadow, and act as a filter to blend the model together is to use oil or acrylic washes. But both of these products come with downsides. Oil washes require less than ideal chemicals that require special brushes, and personally, I have just never gotten an oil wash to work. It always separates and becomes grainy for me. Acrylic washes are expensive, they can be finicky, leading to coffee staining or uneven application, and just don't come in that many colors. That's where Newsh? Like, new shit? That's where Newsh comes in. Newsh is a non-toxic mixing medium that replaces oil or enamel washes and filters. And while it is designed specifically for weathering effects, why would we stop there? After hours of testing, a dozen experiments, and plenty of mistakes, let's talk about why you should Newsh your model. Also, let me know in the comments, what is the adjective that we're going to use to describe applying this product to our model? Is Newsh it what we're going with? I'm starting with this Space Marine primed in a dark army green. My goal is to do a grimdark style so I can push this product to the max. With the base layer applied, I'm mixing up my first batch of Newsh. Using 1 dollop of my brown ProAcryl paint, 6 drops of Newsh, and a few drops of water. The water helps the Newsh more easily flow into the recesses. Now, ProAcryl recommends a ratio of 1 part paint to 3 parts Newsh. Of course, ProAcryl recommends using this product with ProAcryl paints, though I have also had good luck with Reaper. Chimera, on the other hand, was awful. The magenta was very dark, it stained the model, and just looked like crap. Well, crap. I should have used a lot more Newsh medium to help with the intensity of the Chimera paints. The moral of the story, do a test model first. I'm applying my brown wash all over the model to help build color variation and grime. Since this brown is almost the same darkness as my green, it isn't going to build up any shadows in this step. After I've applied my Newsh, I'm then using a makeup sponge and wiping away the excess product. I'm rotating the sponge after a few passes so that I'm using a new section of the sponge. I have found that once a sponge becomes damp with paint, it doesn't do as well at removing the paint from the model and kind of just smears it around. For the smaller parts, I'm using the narrower part of the sponge, but there are also sponge-like Q-tips that you can use as well. Do not use paper towel. That was also a mistake. The greatest thing about Newsh is that it takes approximately 15 minutes to dry, so you could apply an entire layer of Newsh all over the model and then wipe it away all at once. I prefer to work in smaller sections for better attention to detail. Then I'm blowing it dry to help save some time. With the help of the dryer, the Newsh dried within minutes, and it left a smooth application of paint. It stayed in the recesses nicely, and overall has served as a great starting point for my grime on my figure. This model might be grimdark, but your wardrobe doesn't have to be. Let's talk about Into the AM. Into the AM's t-shirts are comfortable, high quality, and come in a variety of styles, including basic and really awesome graphic tees. Into the AM also offers bundles with 3 graphic tees for $60 and 3 basic tees for $45. My viewers get a further 10% off when using the link in my description box. Alright, back to the video. Next, let's add some shadows.
Cardamom, Cardamom, get out of the shot!
I'm doing 2 drops of red brick from Reaper and then 1 brown from Reaper, followed by 5 drops of Newsh and 2 drops water. I'm then applying the shadow color to the lower half of the model and the underside of the arms, the lower half of the pauldrons, and the underside of the helmet. Basically, anywhere shadows would fall. Again, I'm removing it with the sponge, pressing straight down and straight up. Using the stamping motion is the best way to remove the product without creating streaks. One of the great things about oil washes is being able to use some thinner medium and removing previously applied paint to reveal your base coat. We can do something very similar with Newsh. Here I'm using a small brush damp with water and wiping away my Newsh mixture on the pauldrons, helmet, chest plate, thigh, and back leg, followed by a quick swipe with the sponge to remove the water. This helps remove any filtering effect from our Newsh wash and gives us back that brighter highlight. Let's talk about our last wash, and this is the important one. I'm taking 1 brushful of Black Legion contrast paint and mixing it with 1 drop Newsh. This step is really what is going to pull out those tiny details I want to pop. Now remember, I'm going for a grim dark look, so I'm okay with it being a bit messy. If you want a cleaner look, just go slow and spend the time removing the excess Newsh from your recesses, and watch out for those streaks that can develop from dragging your sponge. You can always remove streaks with that damp brush. Now at this point, I'm pretty happy with it, but I do see some things I wish I had done differently. First, the color I chose for my base layer is way too dark, leading to a model that has very little contrast. Second, I learned that you should not use a previously used sponge. The dried Newsh from my sponge peeled off the sponge and left flakes of paint on my model. I'm hopeful that I can just wash the sponges with soap and water and then be able to reuse them, but I have not done that test yet. However, there is one experiment I want to try. I'm mixing a drop of camouflage green from Reaper with a drop of Newsh on my dry palette, and then dabbing the product onto my model with a sponge using a light hand. Again, I'm going straight up and down to apply and then blend out the paint that I'm applying. This is allowing me to build up my green subtly without the streaks common with dry brushing. Unfortunately, it did leave a slight buildup of texture. But upon further experimentation, I found that adding a drop of water to our stamping mixture greatly reduces said texture. And here's the model with washes and highlights. But it wouldn't be a grimdark model if we didn't add some extra dirt. So I'm doing another sponge layer of brown, Newsh, and water. So what's the verdict? My final opinion is that if you're someone who likes new toys, likes to experiment, wants more wash colors, is possibly interested in oils but just has never had them work, then I think Newsh is a great product. However, if you're happy with all of the Citadel washes or the oil paints that you already have, then I don't think that you need this. Personally, I'm really excited to get to fulfill all of my oil painting dreams in a way that actually feels manageable. So I made some pretty bold statements saying that this is the end of oil and acrylic washes. What do you think? Alright, that's it from me. If you like what I do, you know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, go join me on Patreon. Thanks so much. I'll see you next time.